Thank you. Thank you, Stephen Nolan, Belfast. Thank you, Paul Moore, in Radio Foil.
This is a cruel and ruthless world. This is our world. This is everyone for themselves, where bigger dogs eat smaller dogs over lunch. Where there's always someone younger, cheaper, and better than you. It's a game. In order to survive, you must play. To succeed, you must cheat. If you do not have the right to feel hard done by. If you don't, you'll spend the rest of your life wondering why. Why me? Why me indeed? I wanted everything that my eyes could see, but you don't see the pitfalls when you're blinded by greed. I wanted things I could never afford, but I got much more than I bargained for. If I hadn't gone too far, if I didn't want too much, if I hadn't pushed too hard, things could have been different for me. If I hadn't gone too far, if I didn't want too much, if I hadn't pushed too hard, things could have been different for me. Sometimes our expectations are far too high, and we lead ourselves to believe that love should be indestructible, when in fact love is the one thing that can completely destroy us. We think that we deserve to get more out than we're willing to put in. We demand honesty, openness and loyalty, which is more than we can bear to live up to. So when love falls apart, we feel that we're the only person in the world this has ever happened to. Why me? Why me indeed? I took a chance and died in your arms when you took me in and you smothered me with your charms. I bit off more than I could possibly chew, and I'd eaten my fill. I was devoured by you. If I hadn't gone too far, if I didn't want too much, if I hadn't pushed too hard, things could have been different for me. If I hadn't gone too far, if I didn't want too much, if I hadn't pushed too hard, things could have been different for me. We cannot bear to admit defeat. We cannot take the pain. We are prepared to take the risks, bask in the glory of our own success. We are not prepared to wallow in the depths of our inadequacies, so we look for someone else to blame. Why me indeed? I took a chance and died in your arms when you took me in and you smothered me with your charms. I bit off more than I could possibly chew, and I'd eaten my fill. I was devoured by you. If I hadn't gone too far, if I didn't want too much, if I hadn't pushed too hard, things could have been different for me. If I hadn't gone too far, if I didn't want too much, if I hadn't pushed too hard, things could have been different for me. If I hadn't gone too far, if I didn't want too much, if I hadn't pushed too hard, things could have been different for me. If I hadn't gone too far, if I didn't want too much, if I hadn't pushed too hard, things should have been different for me.
Good song. That's a band from Dublin, quaintly called A House. That's a song called Why Me? A House broken up now, too good to last. Good morning, Gerald Michael Anderson here. I'll be here until 12 o'clock. The number to ring as always is 08459 555 678. The email address is jerry.anderson@bbc.co.uk, and the text number is 81771. I really think I should have something different to say. Can I not say something different in the morning?
Show.
Oh, he's talking to people on the phone. A very happy birthday to our very special mother, Mary Ann McCaig of Bridge Road, Dunloy, celebrating her birthday today. Good, it's very rarely I get a thing on the right day. Best wishes from all her sons, daughters, grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Right. And we were talking to a gentleman yesterday who's a representative of the Northern Ireland Paranormal Research Association. We had a lot of interest about that. A lot of people out there are very interested in the paranormal and indeed the supernatural and indeed, to put it simply, ghosts. Hi Jerry, he said. I spoke to you yesterday. My name is Warren Coates from the Northern Ireland Paranormal Research Association. They take people away to castles and scare the life out of them. I forgot to say, and I was wondering if you could mention to your listeners that the NIPRA, which is what their initials stand for, Northern Ireland Paranormal Research Association. I know my grammar is bad, but what can you say? They're running an open night every second Thursday of each month in Moonstone in Hollywood, County Down. Moonstone, every Thursday, every second Thursday each month. This is for people who want to join the group or just have an interest in the paranormal and wish to learn more. I also received a nasty call from an old gentleman after your show. Well, we get many nasty calls from old and young gentlemen, and indeed old and young women as well, and indeed from children. I got a nasty call after your show on Monday, giving off because I used the term North and South of Ireland instead of Northern. I talked to David Dunseith. What strange people we have lining up on this aisle. If you could let people know about the workshop in Moonstone, or if you want me to come on again and say about it, please let me know. No problem, Warren. A lot of people expressed interest in that. Indeed, Mr. Coyle expressed an interest in you and I going down there for a weekend and see if we can flush out some ghosts.
Down where?
To,
what are you talking about?
You should listen to this programme.
Well, it's very hard to listen when I'm taking a call from Billy. Billy wants to wish Big Andy Corey, who works in Hanson's in Carryduff. It's Andy's birthday today. And Andy and his wife Joanne, who works in Thornton's shop in Portadown. They're loggerheads.
I don't see any reason why you can't speak without that hard edge on your voice. Why don't you just speak
because
like a normal person?
Andy is trying to convert Joan to your programme. And Joanne saying, no, I'm not listening to that man, I'm not idiot at all. But Billy and Andy and the rest of the boys in Hanson's thinks that Joanne is a secret listener.
Uh-huh.
You understand?
She's fighting back, is she?
She's fighting back.
She's not giving in.
Oh, no. You see. So I was talking to Billy about that. He was giving that information. And then a girl who refused to talk to you, I don't know why, she's got a photograph of herself when she was a wee girl.
Uh-huh.
And the picture, her photograph is now stuck to the glass of the frame. Do you understand?
Yes.
And she wants to change the frame and make it bigger, but she can't get the photograph away from the glass. What can she do?
How exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So that's obviously been there for some time.
So that's what I was talking about.
Well, it goes to show you what a rich and interesting life you lead.
Mm-hmm.
Just continuing on and not mentioning any of the things you talked about because it's hardly worth talking about at all. We don't know how to separate a photograph from glass. Maybe perhaps you'd apply it to some heat. Maybe that would do some good. I don't know. Our singles night, we're making progress. A number of people have been asking about that. We are definitely going to have a singles night. It will be somewhere in the middle of February, maybe somewhere around, we don't know the date yet, do we, specifically?
No.
Somewhere around, maybe, not on Valentine's night.
No.
Not on Valentine's night.
Maybe
that's
a week before it.
Or maybe a couple of days, round about that.
Yeah.
Not on Valentine's night, because that'd be a bit presumptuous. People don't want to put pressure on people. We don't have it the night before that, because that'd be Friday the 13th. That might be a good crack.
A bit better night.
Friday the 13th might be
also means that we can have a wee sleep on.
That's right, we don't have to get up in the morning.
Right.
Well, I wonder would a Friday night be better than a Thursday?
I would prefer a Friday.
Okay, we'll do talk to the appropriate people. We're talking to people at the moment about a venue, and we're very interested in pulling this off because we feel as if this is something that can do the people good. And we're not talking here about a load of old biddies sitting in the corner drinking snowballs here. This is open to everyone, men and women.
Yes, I think so.
And of all ages.
Yes.
We don't want to say to someone, you can't come in here, you're only 21. We want everyone. We want people who want to come and meet different people. We want people to come along in a friendly environment with me and you there to act as mediators and interlocutors.
Yes, well, I was asked, will we be roaming around with radio mics interviewing people?
No, we shall be standing at the bar, getting full. No, I think what we should do, Sean, now this has come up before, what will our role be?
Yes.
For the benefit of people who are not listening, and there are many of those, we have proposed that we have a night, a social night, with a band, maybe a bit of a disco. We're not quite sure. We're talking to a number of bands at the moment, aren't we, Sean? We shall pick the best of music, and we'll pick a decent venue. No oil rat traps for us.
Right.
We'll pick somewhere nice, somewhere handy to the buses.
Yes.
Somewhere handy. No, you won't feel. You don't have to go to areas. Areas. It'll be somewhere central,
yes.
And you can go there with impunity.
Yes.
And we invite men and women to go there who are having difficulty relating to other people in the normal places where you go. People who don't want to go to clubs, people who don't want to go to pubs, people who feel uneasy, and have difficulty, not difficulty meeting people, but aren't happy with the avenues that are open to them at the moment. They want a friendly environment with two, handsome-looking guys directing the proceedings.
And can we not just bring people along who just want to see what's going on?
Yes, anyone can come. Anyone can come. We don't want anyone who's... Anyone can come.
Yes, of course.
But what we're trying to say is here, we're trying to create an environment, Sean.
Yes.
An environment in which people will trust.
Now, what guidelines have you drawn up so far? We talked about this briefly yesterday. What about bringing the bring and buy theory?
You mean a man would bring a woman that he doesn't want?
Yes, and a woman would bring a man she doesn't want.
I think people can do whatever they want.
Right.
But the only thing is,
Can you bring someone that you do want?
No, I don't think we should do that. No, let's not bring people that you want. Let's not bring people that you want to have congress with.
Right.
I think is the word that we used at school. Let's not bring your girlfriend. What's the point of that? What's the point? Because besides your wife would be upset. No, we don't want people to bring their boyfriends.
No.
We don't want men to bring their boyfriends, and we don't want girls to bring their boyfriends. We don't want girls to bring their boyfriends.
And we don't want any cameras.
No cameras. Girls can come with their girlfriends.
Yeah. Yes. And
as in girlfriends.
Their mates.
Mates, friends,
Yes.
And boys can come with, their mates, whatever. But But there's no room for that too.
Are you distorting?
Pardon?
Are you distorting?
Not as far as I know.
That's all right.
So there we are. We'll let the people know about that, and we will be there. You and I will be there. You're going, aren't you?
Yes.
You know, I didn't think.
But
that.
you
That's
think
good.
this will be good for me?
I think it'll be good for you because you know the way you never go anywhere.
Yes. I will entertain the men. If you know what I mean. I will talk to the men. I will talk.
Leave the women to me.
Yes,
you're good at men.
Yes,
you can talk to them. You can make them easy.
That's right.
You're good at that. You can talk about golf.
The men come in and the men come over to my side.
Yeah, and all the women come to me.
Right. Okay.
I'll be standing at the bar with a large flagon.
And then I will shout to you, or you will shout to me. We're ready to mingle.
Oh no! There'll be none of that formality. I'll be at the bar with a Jeroboam of champagne.
Oh, so. But when all the girls come,
or maybe a hogshead. I'm not quite sure.
The girls come over to you.
Yes.
And the men are with me.
No, the whole point of the exercise, and I don't want to bore the listeners because listeners are wondering what we're talking about.
It's not like the old-time dances where the men are down one side, the girls down the other, and they charge.
The idea of it is, I'll be like, God.
Right.
I'll be standing there. That no woman who goes in there will have nobody to talk to. Any woman that goes in there knows that they have a friend in me.
Yes.
They've got a friend in Jesus.
And what about me?
I'll be standing at the bar. Men can come to you. But no woman will go in there and not have anyone to talk to. They can come to me, and I will welcome them with open arms. And I'll say,
what I don't want,
suffer little children to come unto me. I'll say.
If you don't mind, what I don't want any rugby talk.
Well, you see, you'd be the one that would instigate that.
Yeah, I don't want any rugby talk.
You have to stamp that out right away.
No, I just wanted to let them know.
There was a lot of that on the John Daly show last night. Did you see that rugby talk last night?
No, I didn't see it last night.
Couldn't be bothered with that.
No. Right.
Anyway, there are no ground rules. We're extending the hand of the BBC, but this isn't a BBC operation. This is something that you and I are doing because we care, Sean.
Yes.
This won't have a BBC stamp on it.
We're trying to bring Northern Ireland together.
Don't be the security man at the door saying, "Have you got your pass there, love?" Be none of that. This is not like Children in Need where nobody can get in.
Right.
People can come. We shall open our doors to the people, open our hearts, open our arms, and indeed.
Open our wallets.
Well,
no.
No, I didn't go that far. I stopped.
Yes.
Incidentally, that's about all we have to say. We let the people know and we decide the date and the venue. There will be a small charge, of course, to cover expenses.
Yes. All right. Will you turn me off now?
Yes. I've got a great... Trevor Williams, a good friend of mine, sent me some fabulous music. He sent me an LP which
I'm still on.
I know you're still on, but it doesn't matter about you because I've now moved on. I'll turn you off. He sent me a wonderful LP, which I had a very long time ago, and it's like old friends. It's called The Worst Records Ever Made. That's not the actual title, but it's something like that. And there's some crackers here. Look at me. I'm looking at these. He says that there's one called I Want My Baby Back by Jimmy Cross. He says that is the worst record ever made. I played that this morning. I don't think that's the worst. No, there are worse than that. I have picked two. Two of these, there's 30 tracks, and I have picked two which I regard as being two of the worst records ever made. I'm going to play one of you now. I'm going to play one for you now. There was a singer in the 60s and 50s, actually, in the 60s, called Jess Conrad, and he made a song called This Pullover. Have a listen to this.
This pullover that you gave to me, I am wearing and wear it constantly, soft and warming like your love for me. It was made, dear, like you were made for me. This pullover I find very smart, for it tells me that we will never part. Don't you worry, my little sweetheart, just like you did, it's closest to my heart. When I touch it, I can see you clearly. When I clutch it, I can feel you near me. When I'm lonely, I simply wrap it round me, And I feel I'm holding you so tight. This pullover that you gave to me, I'll keep wearing until eternity. Soft and warming, it will always be, like the true love you'll always give to me.
And there's an accordion in it. Sir Daniel gets all his best ideas.
When I touch it, I can see you clearly. When I clutch it, I can feel you near me. When I'm lonely, I simply wrap it round me. And I feel I'm holding you so tight. This pullover that you gave to me, I'll keep wearing until eternity. Soft and warming, it will always be, like the true love you'll always give to me. Like the true love you'll always give to me. Like the true love you'll always.
Now, I think that's hard to beat. That's this pullover by, what's his name again? Jess Conrad. When I touch it, I can see you clearly. When I clutch it, I can feel you near me. That's hard to beat, but then again you go down the list and then you find a song called The Deal by Patrick Campbell. I think this is my bet. No, I have to play this.
Sorry?
Have you ever heard this before? It's called The Deal by Patrick Campbell. Have you ever heard this before? Have you?
No, The Deal.
The Deal. Have a listen to this. You like this.
Will it last long?
Well, that's not normally what I ask, you know, whenever I play it. It's 3 minutes.
Yeah, but there's a man on one.
But I'll tell you one thing now. See, when I play this, Hugo will want it.
No, there's a man who's going to explain the bring and buy thing to you. He says you're not quite grasping it.
As the girl said to the sailor.
Right.
Where is he?
He's on one.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Hello, Jerry.
What seems to be your trouble? Have you trouble with my terms?
No, just trouble with your fact that you don't seem to have come to, a bit like if you were dancing with a woman, you'd be dancing at arm's length with her and you wouldn't be getting in step with her and you're looking over your shoulder. You're not paying attention to what's been said to you.
Well, come on, tell me where I'm going wrong.
Well, you're not going wrong, you're just not going right.
Well,
Bring Bay, that idea of Bring Bay, now, my take on it would be, and sort of the way Sean's explained it there, it seems to make absolutely perfect sense. There's men and women around the country that would love to go out for a night and meet somebody new.
yes.
Right? And they would know each other, sort of, they maybe wouldn't fancy each other, right? Okay.
And see, this is the part that I have trouble with. You see, I think it's impossible for a man to have a genuine friendship with a woman.
Right.
Without
consummating it.
No, without the notion of doing it.
Oh, aye, without the idea.
Because men, if they don't, they can't be bothered. That's what they're like.
Well, I have to tell you, you're starting to pull the rug from under me already, because I did sound out, sort of a couple of women here about this thing. Right?
You've sounded out a couple of women about this thing?
Sort of, would they, sort of the idea of the Bring and Bay, sort of...
Now, what did you say to them? What did you say to them?
I says, look, Jerry Anderson's having this thing. The would-be Jerry Anderson listeners when they're, when they're off work.
Yes. You see, this is not confined to listeners. We want the people to spread the word.
Absolutely. And for some reason, I don't know what it is about you, but women do seem to like your style. I don't know what it is. I think it's an old flooster, but, sort of, it works.
They tend to gravitate towards me.
But, yeah.
It's my charisma. Mr. Coyle knows that he doesn't have any.
But women seem to go for it, and sort of fair play to you, it's got you as far as it's got you, and I'm sure it'll get you the rest of the road.
There's no turning back?
No.
Okay.
Right, but I did approach, sort of one woman in particular. I said, look, sort of, there's this thing on, and, sort of the idea is, sort of, you go down there, and the way it's been explained, it's a Bring and Bay thing. You go with somebody, sort of, that you don't particularly fancy, but, you're friends, and you can go, and maybe she'll get a man, maybe you'll get a woman, but, you've got each other for company when you're there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what you said to me?
What?
How do you know I don't fancy you?
You see, this is what I pointed out to Mr. Coyle the other day, and he seemed to have great difficulty knowing what I was talking about. See, what you're actually saying, what you were saying to that woman when you talked to her about this, you were saying to her, I don't fancy you.
Yeah.
And that gets their dander up.
Well, sort of not only does it get their dander up, but it turns the whole game on his head, Jerry.
Exactly, because then they want you then because you don't like them. You see, women want what you don't. If you don't want women, they'll want you.
But
the worst thing that you can do is tell a woman that you're really mad about it because they're on a mile.
You just hit the nail on the head.
I know. Oh, I see what you mean. If you go up to someone and say you don't fancy them, could you like to come to dance with me? Chances are the two will go home together.
Yeah. I've been about a long time, and it took me a long time before I ever had that lesson made as clear to me as it's just been made clear to me.
I see, I've had arguments with this Mr. Coyle. I mean, often when we go out on BBC Business, he always says to me, why don't you talk to people? And I say, I don't have to talk to people. I stand at the bar and wait for them to come to me.
But then, Jerry, what I tell you now, look, sort of, if you take that, sort of the effect that's already having.
Yes.
This idea of bring and buy and bring with somebody. Would you not promote it on that basis alone for the good that it might do off the floor or even outside the hall for people that mightn't even sort of get to go to the the bring and buy?
No, we can't make that condition mandatory.
No, I'm not making it mandatory, but I'm saying if you'd make it as as an aspect of the thing.
Oh well, I agree.
We'd be bringing people together even before they come to the night.
Yeah, one of the things I urge people to do if they want to come along to our night is, for instance, maybe perhaps someone like yourself, or of course you've talked about this before, maybe there's a man out there listening at the moment who doesn't have any girls that he could ask to go to this, and maybe there are women out there, and within the course of the next 3 or 3 weeks you might meet someone who he regards as being in a similar position to himself and say, listen, there's a bit of a do going on up here, do you want to come? No strings attached.
Because another, sort of woman I was talking to, like she's a bit of a,
bit of a dog, is she? Bit of a dog, is she?
Oh no, she's not. Oh,
yeah.
No.
No, right.
No, she knows what I'm talking about. No, I wouldn't call her that.
Right.
And she spent a bit of time sort of travelling before she come back here to settle down.
Oh, I see.
And
that's always a good sign. Yes.
Her idea was, she says, why don't you ask Anderson if he could make it a white bicycle evening? She said you would know what that meant.
I don't know what that means now. I really don't know.
But she explained it to me was that it was either in Dublin or Amsterdam. There was a scheme where if you had a bicycle, you could always bring it and leave it anywhere and lift another one. Are you accusing
some men here of regarding their women as bicycles? Because I've heard that word before, and it's another connotation.
Well, you see, she's a woman that would wind up like that there, and I'm now in trouble because I just realised that. I never thought of that.
Yeah, women don't like being called bicycles for obvious reasons.
Right, no.
I regard that as a slip of the tongue.
I'm sorry, okay. Sean said to me before, come on, not to be what he called, and that woman put them words in my mouth, and now see what
she's a mischievous old bitch.
She is.
And I think one of the things that we have to look at is that the fact that this probably originated in Amsterdam, as we all know, is the city of the bicycle.
Sorry for interrupting you two, Greg, because Jim's on too there, and Jim wants to get involved.
Throw his thruppence in.
Yes.
All right then. Just a second. Hello, Jim.
Hello.
Yes. Good morning. You're in the course of you're in the middle of a conversation.
You were talking to that fella there, and you were talking about the sort of a bring and buy thing. I don't think that would work at all. So that would bring the element of jealousy into it.
No, it's a choice. Let's put it that way. You don't necessarily have to come on your own. You can bring a friend of yours, be it male or female. But the condition is that you're not congressing, that you're not an item.
You know yourself there, saying you took your wife to like that, just for instance.
Yes.
Right? And you were mingling and cracking to the crowd, you'd be keeping an eye on her. If you seen her laughing into some other fella's face or some other fella laughing into her face, you'd be jealous. Make you no mistake about that.
I can guarantee it. If I brought my wife to something like that, she'd be away in 5 minutes.
But so that's how the bring and buy thing would work.
I know, but that's why you shouldn't bring. That's why you don't bring anybody you care.
A woman that you're going to be jealous of.
You can't bring anybody that you care about. That's the whole point. You've got it all arseways. You only bring a person that you don't.
Where are you going to get somebody that you don't care about to take with you?
Well, all I have to do is.
You could care about them, but you don't fancy them.
All I have to do is throw a stone. All I have to do is go out the street and throw a stone. I can hit half a dozen people who don't care about me. No, what you're doing is you're going to bring somebody that you don't necessarily fancy. And somebody else might fancy them, Get them off your hands. Do you understand what I'm saying here? This is no big deal. It's not terribly complicated. If you don't want to go on your own, you can bring a friend, be it male or female. But if it's a person of the opposite sex, you're not allowed to bring someone with whom you're going. With. Do you understand what I'm saying?
It won't work, John, or it won't work, I'm telling you.
All right, then. Well, see, we're only in the
element of jealousy into it. Mark my words.
But how can you be jealous about somebody that you don't fancy? How can you be jealous about somebody you don't fancy? How can you do that?
But I I can't understand how you're going to get somebody like that to go with you to start off with, but...
Well, you see, this other man, what's your name, sir?
Jim.
Pat, well, you seem to have no difficulty in you've talked to a number of girls already.
There's a world of women out there that would, would love to get out, but they, they just need somebody to go with.
Exactly.
And they don't particularly want to go without a bunch of women because, like Women's Night, Women's Night, that's a separate thing, and it's a great thing, and it's great to see about women doing it. But, they would like to go out and, go out for a night and see round them with somebody that, what they call, that they're friends with.
Now, here's something that we should consider. Now, I wouldn't mind if a bloke came with a girl. Hold on, who's that away? Who's there? Anybody still there?
I'm still here.
Sorry, the other man's away.
Jim's had enough.
No, thank you. No, I think he was cut off, actually. No, I suggest that maybe perhaps there'd be no reason at all why a man couldn't come with a woman that he was actually going with, but they would pretend that they weren't.
Oh,
you could do that, you see.
Oh, no.
You see, then it gets interesting.
Then it does get interesting.
All right, listen, we're only talking about this.
Right.
We'll have other ideas. We haven't by no means talked this through.
No.
Okay?
Good luck.
Thank you. Bye. Now, you see, there's an idea. It's getting good, this, isn't it? Right, here's in my opinion, this is the worst record ever made. I want you to listen to this voice and tell me who it reminds you of. Say who it reminds you of. I'll tell you who it reminds me of at the end.
I guess it was about midnight when we arrived at the hospital. The doctor was waiting at the door, and they carried my sweet wife to a delivery room. And I was left alone to walk the waiting room floor. And like all first-time fathers, I guess I was nervous, for my long-awaited son was about to arrive in this world. I even caught myself a little chuckle as I thought, you know something? It could be an old girl. But I could feel the weariness and tension mounting in me as I paced the room time and time again, and finally I reckon it got to me. And I sat down and placed my head in my hands, and then I looked up as the hall door swung open and the doctor entered with his head bowed low. And then he told me of the complications and the decisions only I could make, and urged me not to be too slow. Oh, for a long, timeless moment, I stood there, staring at him in shock and disbelief. I mean, how could I tell him to save my wife or save my child when they both mean the whole world and everything to me? I excused myself and walked off down the little hall, and my footsteps carried me to the chapel door, and with an aching heart I entered, and with head bowed low, I just knelt down on the floor. Oh, you must love them an awful lot, Lord. Maybe even as much as I do, because you can't make up your own mind which one to extend your welcome hand to. Now, I know I never asked for very much, Lord, but if I could make you a deal, well, I guess you know what it would be. Let them both live their lives, and if you gotta take one, please let it be me. And then somehow I got to feeling a little better, and I hurried back down the hall. The doctor wasn't there, and as I wondered where he was, why, my legs gave way, and suddenly I began to fall. What was wrong, I wondered? Why was I lying there on the floor? Gosh, it seemed like an eternity until I looked up and I saw the doctor come running through the door. Well, he's bending over me now, and his eyes tell me that soon my life will be gone. And the only thing I can think of is that now he'll have to make that decision alone. But then he turns to his nurse and he says, it's too bad he won't know of the miracle that's happened, and that somehow they're both going to be all right. And I try to force a last little smile as I think, it's too bad he don't know of the deal I made with my God tonight.
Yes, you're right. You've guessed it. It is Jeffrey Donaldson. Jeffrey Donaldson's changed his label. That wasn't him, of course. It was a fella called Patrick Campbell. I'm almost ashamed to say that because it indicates he may be Irish. We'll be back after news approximately 4 minutes past 11 o'clock. You can give us a ring if you wish. It's 08459 555 678. This is the Nashville Pickers, by the way. We'll be back. See you later.
92 to 95 FM
and 1341 medium wave.
BBC Radio Ulster.
It's 11 o'clock, and with the news, I'm Jo Scott. The serial killer Harold Shipman has been found hanged in his cell at Wakefield Prison. He was convicted of murdering 15 elderly patients, but an inquiry later judged that he'd killed more than 200. John Thorne reports.
A prison doctor pronounced Harold Shipman dead at 8:10 this morning. Prison officers had found the former GP hanging in his cell soon after 6. It's understood he'd used his bed sheets. Shipman's family, including his wife Primrose, who's regularly visited the convicted murderer, have been informed. Harold Shipman had been at Wakefield Prison since June last year. According to the prison service, he had never been on suicide watch and was following the normal prisoner regime.
Anne Alexander is a solicitor who represents some of the relatives of Shipman's victims.
One of our clients said that he thought that Shipman had taken the easy way out. He had no regrets or sorrow and good riddance. Another one received the news with a mixture of relief, anger and bitterness. Another was shocked but not surprised. Another said that they felt cheated.
A former IRA man has given up his right to give evidence anonymously at the Bloody Sunday inquiry. William Anderson was granted anonymity yesterday on the grounds that his life could be in danger if he were to be identified. However, when he went into the witness box this morning, he said he no longer wanted to be anonymous. He gave no reason for the change to his position. Mr. Anderson said he didn't know what the IRA plans were for Bloody Sunday, as he was suspended from the organisation at the time after burning a van belonging to the official IRA. Irish police are treating as suspicious the death of a man who's believed to have been originally from Belfast. The body of the 46-year-old was found in the blood-stained bathroom of his home in County Clare. The discovery was made last night by the man's partner, who had just returned from an overseas trip. A post-mortem examination is being carried out. Sinn Féin have been meeting the Secretary of State this morning to discuss Judge Peter Corrie's reports. Meanwhile, the family of murdered solicitor Pat Finucane is taking legal action at the High Court this morning to try to force the government to publish them. The family is lodging papers to seek a judicial review. The judge has told the Finucane family and those of Rosemary Nelson, Robert Hamill and Billy Wright that he has recommended public inquiries into their murders. The inquiry has begun into how Ian Huntley came to get a job as a school caretaker, even though police were aware of a series of sexual allegations against him. He's now serving a life sentence for the murders of Jessica Chapman and Holly Wells. The chairman of the inquiry, Sir Michael Beechard, says he'll look especially closely at the way Humberside and Cambridgeshire police failed to share information about Huntley's past.
Inevitably, my task will involve asking some tough questions and perhaps criticising individuals and organisations. And you can be sure that I will not shirk from that if I consider it to be justified and necessary.
And the weather bright with sunny spells and showers developing. Some will be sharp at times with hail and sleet expected. That's all for now. BBC Radio Ulster News.
BBC Radio Ulster.
Travel news. Starting at the international airport, and My Travel Light arrival from Cardiff, which was due at 1:05, is now estimated to arrive at 4:30. Also, the 1:30 outbound flight to Cardiff has been delayed. It's now expected to depart at 5:05. On the roads and in East Belfast, resurfacing work continues today on Parkway, which has been closed between the Hollywood Road and the Belmont Road. A contraflow is in place there and delays can be expected. Finally, in Tandragee, the Mullahead Road has been cleared and traffic has returned to normal in the area. Anne Jordan reporting.
Travel news from BBC Radio Ulster.
Now on BBC Radio Ulster, a choice of listening. In a moment on 1341 medium wave, we've this week's programmes for schools in Northern Ireland. Meanwhile, the Jerry Anderson Show continues on 92 to 95 FM.
Welcome back. Jerry Anderson here on FM only. If you listen to Medium Wave, God knows what's on. It's 5 minutes past 11 o'clock. We'll be here until 12 o'clock. The number to ring is 08459 555 678. Email jerry.anderson@bbc.co.uk. Text 81771. I need some new stuff to say. I say the same stuff after the news all the time, but then again, that's familiar. It's warming. It makes people know that, things are the same as they were before, that there's no change.
Well, why don't you
can you get some of the text messages out, would you, for God's sake?
Why should I do that?
Because you're working on the show and I can't do it. Has Geraldine been trained up?
Excuse me, you were doing them all week yourself.
I wasn't doing them at all. You and what do you call the other one? Janet. You and Janet were trained up by Ken to get...
We were doing them the week before last when Geraldine was off.
Yeah, well, why did it all stop?
Because you blamed Janet for only pulling them out halfway or something. You said Janet...
She's no good at getting her texts out.
No.
Well, why don't you get them out now?
But you said you would do it yourself.
No, I did not say that. Why don't you get them? Train Geraldine there whilst you're there.
No.
Go on, I want them out whole. I don't want half a text out. There are people sending text messages and we're not acknowledging them. For God's sake, don't you realise this is the BBC? There are people out there who trust us.
Will you play Teenage Kicks for Richard Boyd in Ballymoney?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't like it.
Do you not?
No, I just said that to annoy dirty people. No, I do like it. I don't have it with me. Is it in the core?
No.
Well, I can't play it then.
Do you not carry your...
I don't carry my undertone package, no. Wilma and Alan McKinney from Bangor, best wishes and happy wedding anniversary to them. That's from John and Adrienne and family. Instead of Teenage Kicks, that teen angst anthem, I would like to play something which is quite interesting. Here's a little guitar picking and banjo picking from the Nashville Super Pickers. R.E.M. recorded a song which I always quite liked called It's the End of the World as We Know It, and I Feel Fine. Now, would you think that would be not a very particularly suitable song to be played by the Nashville Super Pickers? Wouldn't you think that?
Is that the Beatles, I Feel Fine?
No, it's not. It's called It's the End of the World as We Know It, and I Feel Fine.
Oh, sorry.
It's a different thing entirely.
I didn't hear
So this is a very unusual piece of music, and if you're familiar with the original piece of music, you'll realise that this is quite a breakthrough. So I want the people out there who are maybe not familiar with the Nashville Super Pickers to sit back and just listen to this and let it flow over them. Here we go. Will you do that too?
I see.
Thank you. That's certainly different, isn't it? That's how good the Nashville Super Pickers are. That's not everybody would tackle that. That's an R.E.M. song. I'm sure R.E.M. fans are familiar with that. It's called It's the End of the World as We Know It, and I Feel Fine. Not the first thing you'd immediately think of when you're thinking about doing a bit of a country picking thing. Hello, good morning. Excuse me. Look at me coughing. Excuse me. I'm not well yet, you know.
Are you not?
I'm not entirely back to my former self. I haven't been well this last couple of days. I've tried to conceal it from the listeners, but you know, sometimes you just break into a splutter.
See a doctor.
I don't believe in doctors. They always tell me the wrong things.
How are you, Jerry?
I'm fine, thank you. Who is that anyway?
This is Charlie McChrystal. I'm ringing you from Omaha.
Charlie from Omaha.
Yeah,
Do I know you, Charlie?
Yeah, yes. I met you quite a few times, Jerry.
Where did we meet?
The last time I met you was close to Buncrana. You were opening a show or something that night. You were appearing in your full flight.
Really? It's not like me.
Yes. And,
it's not like me opening a show.
It was yourself and May McFetridge, I think it was.
Oh, the devil incarnate. Right, well, let's not linger on that. What can we do for you today?
No, I just wanted to tell you that I'm receiving you in sparkling digital audio broadcast here in the Omaha area.
Excellent.
It's absolutely wonderful.
Have you got a digital radio?
Yes.
Well, more people.
Wonderful.
Every home should have one.
Yes, and every bathroom.
Pristine sound and clear quality.
Yes.
Every word heard.
Wash as you listen. Wash down with a little Jerry Anderson.
Wash your eye lobby down.
Yes. No, actually what I was ringing you for was I had an idea with relation to you said bringing by. You were trying to hold something. I think that you should start it off in easy stages. You should have a bring and lie.
Well,
you should have come in and tell lies about the thing and start it off slowly but surely, and then get to the bringing by afterwards.
I don't want to impose too many conditions on the people. I think the people should be let go. Let my people free, I've always said. Yes. 1 man, 1 vote. Wasn't that what you used to cry?
Yes.
Yes. 1 man, 1 vote. Wasn't that your cry?
Yeah.
Well, go do that. What do you want?
No.
Go on, do that again. I miss all that.
Hard to get.
What do you want?
It's hard to get your pennies worth.
When do you want it? Nay. What do you want? 1 man, 1 vote. When do you want it? Nay.
How you doing?
Sorry, I'm losing control here. I miss those days. We used to always sit down, the police used to carry you away. Oh, what a wonderful time that was. Anyway, it's no good now. This piece is no good. Anyway, why are we talking about this? Why did you start me there? You started me in something. I don't know how.
Who am I talking to?
This is Gerald Michael Anderson here.
Oh, yeah. I'm not too sure that you
Let's go back to the point. I left you at some point there.
Yes.
Let's get back to that point.
The one thing I noticed when I rung into the station was, in actual fact, the amount of noise. I could tell straight away that you're steam-driven there on the Northern Avenue.
Oh, fierce amount of noise going on here.
Fierce.
No, it's the machinery in here.
It's the horses. I can hear the horses working with paddles.
Mm-hmm. You sound like a man who needs a holiday.
Yes, I do. Mm-hmm. Is there a draw on today?
No, there's no draw today. Listen, can I ask you one thing? If we had our singles night, and it will be coming up shortly, we will be having it, it's a definite thing, would you care to come along to it?
I would, but what I wanted to do is I wanted to establish whether I needed a ticket for my partner. I was going to bring along my dog, or as I call it, my bitch. It's called Jess. It's a beautiful dog.
No animals, I'm sorry.
No animals. No. Not into that sort of thing, no.
No animals, no.
No, I don't. Not going to be there, then.
We're not having that, no. But are you a married man at all? Are you?
I was at one stage, but it didn't work out. I had joined the great majority.
You're now single again. Are you past your sell-by date, or are you reasonably compos mentis?
Fairly compos mentis.
Give me an age. If I give you an age range here, tamp your foot twice. You're between 30 and 40? No. 40 and 50?
No, nearly.
Over 50?
I am 51.
He tapped his hoof twice.
And I'm feeling great.
Well, it doesn't matter.
I went to Cookstown today and I bought myself a duffel coat.
Well, you see, that's a start. Why don't you wear it when you come to our singles night? What are you
with it?
Are you baldy at all?
I'm easily fascinated. Because I'll tell you why. I bought the coat, it had 9 buttons on it, but I will only fasten 8.
Only fasten 8. That's a good one. What condition are you in physically? Are you baldy? Are you baldy?
I could do with a workover.
Uh-huh.
I could do with a quick massage.
Well, that's another. You can pay for that. Are you baldy at all? You won't answer me.
Well, I have a spot.
They all do, don't they?
Has one.
They all do.
Yes.
Well, I see no reason why you shouldn't come along, but you need to stay over, I'm afraid. Would you be able to drive back home to Omaha that night? Are you drinking, man? Would you take a wee snifter there?
I don't touch it at all because I don't need it.
You don't need it?
But I'll buy you that drink. You were on about You described it as a large bottle of something. You called it a something.
I don't know how to get a Jeroboam or a hog's head yet.
A Jeroboam. Never heard that. Never heard that word in years.
Well, we use it up here all the time.
Yes, sir.
All right, then listen, we look forward. Will you keep listening? And anything that you feel as if you can add, just give us a ring.
Of course. And you know what? I'm recording you in Sparkling Digital Radio here because I go to bed at night listening to the recordings of radio.
Many of us do. And so obviously your life has opened up with this digital technology.
It has totally transformed things.
I can hear the excitement in your voice.
Oh, my God.
All right, then. Well, we look forward to contact us again. If we don't see you, please come up to our singles night, and you're welcome.
And to
Mr. Coyle, yes.
Mr. Coyle.
Of course.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you. Bye. He's not well, that guy.
All went 50. Eh?
What did you say?
Yeah.
I nearly caught you again.
I know.
I nearly caught you again. Someday I'll catch you.
You will.
Someday you're going to say something you're sorry.
I know.
And I'll say, I'm sorry. Well, he knows that I'm liable to open the mic at any time.
Yeah. We were talking about you.
I know you were. That's why I opened your mic so quickly.
Yeah.
I can sense these things. I'm going to play something else now. It's a request.
When was the last time you wallpapered?
I never wallpapered in my life.
Never?
Never. My wife always says to me, when anything needs done around the house, she said, we need to get a man in.
Oh, did you ever paint?
I remember painting a chair once. Yeah, I painted a bench outside our house once, and I did what it said on the tin. And I didn't like it. A bench outside.
What's a bench?
A bench. Not what a bench is. A summer seat, yeah.
A bench is a bench.
Stop. It's a wooden summer seat. I call that a bench.
No, it's not a bench. A bench is a workbench.
No, it's not. Sean, a bench is a...
What?
Many different types of things. A bench doesn't necessarily have to be a workbench. A bench can be a seat, just a regular wooden seat, a bench. It doesn't necessarily
like a summer seat.
Yes.
I wouldn't call a summer seat a bench.
Well, you haven't seen my summer seat. Maybe it resembles more of a bench than your summer seat does.
Is a bench not a straight piece of wood?
No, that's a form.
That's a farm.
Yeah, that's right.
I forgot about farms.
You see how silly you are.
Remember men used to stack farms?
Stacked farms, yes.
That's right.
I used to always sit, when we were at school, we used to always sit in farms.
Yeah, sit in a farm. But do you remember going to the picture houses and sitting in farms?
I never did that. Well,
the wee halls.
Yeah, in the wee halls, not the real ones.
No, wee halls.
But one of the things that I do remember, and this is a very, very sad thing to relate, remember we used to go to dances, sometimes you had to sit in a farm at the side of a marquee.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and that was always very bad if you were full because you couldn't get up again.
We had a hall that we went to see pictures and they played housey in it. And then we had it it was like a sort of a youth club, but it wasn't. Yeah. But we used to train in it.
Train to do what?
Just train. No, do you remember Harriers?
Shorts? Harriers used to be.
No, Harriers. Do you remember men? Do you remember men?
Oh, runners, yeah. Yes. Joggers, yeah.
Yes.
Harriers, yeah.
Yes,
Harriers. I never heard that word for a long time.
That's right. Just came to me there when we were talking. Well, we would put these forms out, space them out in the hall, and then we would jump over them like
hurdlers. You were.
Yeah, we're hurdling Harriers.
Hurdling Harriers. Yeah.
Yes.
Do you know another thing I remember? It just came to me at the moment. I just forgot about that.
When did men stop harrying?
Men stopped harrying when the TV got good. That's what happened. When the TV started to go on after 11, men stayed up too late and they couldn't harry her anymore. Another thing that
can I tell you who was a well-known harrier?
Tell me.
A man that you know very well.
Noel Thompson?
No,
he's a walker.
No, Noel's a walker.
Mm-hmm. He's a strider, cross-country walker, yeah.
One of the Barnbreck men.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
The wee baldy man with the accordion?
Owen.
The drinker.
I'm not lucky for that.
Well,
Owen harried all over Ireland.
Did he?
Yeah.
Didn't do much good when you look at him.
Oh, he's not bad now.
He's very baldy.
But you can't help it.
Do you know something that occurred to me yesterday? I was lying in bed last night. I couldn't sleep last night because of my guilty conscience. And I remembered something that I hadn't remembered for a very long time, and I feel as if I should share with you.
Please.
When I lived in Canada and America, there was one word that people used to always ask me to say all the time, Americans and Canadians, a word that they'd never heard before.
Fortnight.
That's it. How did you know?
Isn't that amazing?
How did you know?
I know a story. I told Geraldine a story about that word.
Are you serious?
I did indeed.
I think you're a mind reader. Fortnight.
Aye.
People just say, what was that you said?
Yeah.
They say, I'll see you in a fortnight. In a what? You'll see me in a what? In a fortnight. In a fortnight? What is fortnight? Say that again. Fortnight.
That's right.
Fortnight. And they're all going, fortnight.
Well, this is a story. It was a friend of Geraldine's.
Really?
That I have.
Did Geraldine mind you telling this
No,
story?
she doesn't mind. No, because I'm not going to mention anything.
Stop him if he goes too far.
No, there's nothing in it. But this fella left here, went to America, and applied for a job.
Yes.
You see. And during the interview, the guy said, "How long have you lived in America?" And he said, "I've been here about a fortnight." And the fella says, "What?" He said, "I've been here about a fortnight." He said, "A fortnight."
Fortnight?
So, what happened to you, he went away and got other people from the office. He says, "Come here," called these people around. He says,
say that thing again.
"Joe, how long have you been living in America?"
Fortnight, man, a fortnight.
Roughly about a fortnight.
Roughly a fortnight.
So, never heard it before. So there you are.
Isn't that interesting?
I must be Chan Kanaska.
You are Chan Kanaska.
I'm a mind reader.
I don't know what you are, but I don't like it.
I read that.
Time for Lignite.
Everything is right with Lignite. Lignite, Lignite, Lignite. Your future will be bright with Lignite. Lignite, Lignite, Lignite.
It's a Lignite man just talking, great real fields, rich trees, we all we need. Don't you think we're all soft in the heat? Don't you think we're all daft indeed? Soft in the heat and daft indeed. Don't you think we're all daft indeed?
Dinna ye worry how but nilla reek nor stir, be all filtered out, see sweet and pure. Dinna ye worry how but water pollution will pipe all rivers and burns, square solution. Dinna ye greet your 200-year-old house, with unno stains and they mere on use. Dinna ye greet your those neighbours and friends, you can blather on the phone feed more than a lean.
Everything is right with Lignite. Lignite, Lignite, Lignite. Your future will be bright with Lignite. Lignite, Lignite, Lignite.
It's a Lignite man just talking, great real fields, rich trees, we all we need. Don't you think we're all soft in the heat? Don't you think we're all daft indeed? Soft in the heat and daft indeed. Don't you think we're all daft indeed?
Thank o' the goud and thank o' the cellar, you'll all be so rich, all the galler. What needs green fields, what needs clean air, with thousands in the bank and mere to spare. What needs kayak down or a bit, what needs buyers your aim mocking up. What needs hands, pegs or a horse, with money in your pocket and mere in your purse.
Everything is right with Lignite. Lignite, Lignite, Lignite. Your future will be bright with Lignite. Lignite, Lignite, Lignite.
It's a Lignite man just talking, great real fields, rich trees, we all we need. Don't you think we're all soft in the heat? Don't you think we're all daft indeed? Soft in the heat and daft indeed. Don't you think we're all daft indeed?
Some folks says what about rabbit and hare they'll hate to take off, and that's not fair. Out broken slide folks you'll no longer see, but you can watch them and mere on DVD. For all the wee birds you see wild fear, you say their sweet song no longer be heard, but your blackbirds and thrushes singing with glee. It's all heard new on cassette on CD.
Everything is right with Lignite. Lignite, Lignite, Lignite. Your future will be bright with Lignite. Lignite, Lignite, Lignite.
It's a Lignite man just talking, great real fields, rich trees, we all we need. Don't you think we're all soft in the heat? Don't you think we're all daft indeed? Soft in the heat and daft indeed. Don't you think we're all daft indeed?
Well, hey, ye's new, ye hae nothing of all. Ye hae full rain, sleet and snow. Well, the riches you'll soon gain. You'll be flat, sunny Spain. Just think ye's all on prosperity. Luxury for all your posterity. Put in a sunry, you'll hae a queer lock. Last me wins, you'll be better off.
Everything is right with Lignite. Lignite, Lignite, Lignite. Your future will be bright with Lignite. Lignite, Lignite, Lignite.
It's a Lignite man just talking, great real fields, rich trees, we all we need. Don't you think we're all soft in the heat? Don't you think we're all daft indeed? Soft in the heat and daft indeed. Don't you think we're all daft indeed? It's a Lignite man just talking, great real fields, rich trees, we all we need. Don't you think we're all soft in the heat? Don't you think we're all daft indeed? Soft in the heat and daft indeed. Don't you think we're all daft indeed?
I'm doing well. I think I nearly understand about 75% of that now. It was half a while ago. First of all, I didn't understand a fifth of it, but I'm getting on. Each word is coming to me as it goes along. That's Mr. Lignite Man. That's from an album called Ulster Scots Folk Orchestra, bringing it the yeller, as they say. That's Steve Earle. That's the title track from his last album. That's called Jerusalem. The title track, well, the track, of course, is called Jerusalem. Hello, good morning.
Gary.
Yes, hello. Who's that?
My name's Brian.
Yes, Brian. How are you doing?
Not so bad.
How you doing? How you doing? Good crack, good crack. Sorry, I'm morphing into Hugo.
I know your head's away. I know
Good luck. God bless you, God bless you. Don't look at over 40, don't look at over 40. Fooled you down. Sorry, go ahead.
It's a suggestion for your night that you're having, your singles night.
Keep it clean, please.
Oh, will be, surely.
Okay.
Why don't you do the same system that you had for your boat trip, where people ring in and you allocate tickets?
Oh, no.
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 Well,
no, we want people to...
exactly. But you would know exactly how many people's going.
Doesn't matter how many go.
I know, then you would know how many men and many women are going also.
Doesn't matter how many men are. That's God's work. God puts them together. God will decide how many people will come. God will decide how many people will pay off.
And then you could also, on the tickets that you issue them with, there'll be a number attached.
No. What do you think? What do you think it is? Auschwitz?
Well, you're talking about bringing by.
Anyone who wants to come can come. We will not question anyone's motive. If you're married, single, or whatever, the thing is that you want to take part.
I see.
Anyone, it's open to everyone.
Oh, I see, right.
We don't...
Well, I thought it would be quite easy. You see, on your first dance, you could always call a couple of numbers out, and it would be a fella and a girl, and without getting the men and shy and the women being...
No, it's nature will take its course.
You can match them originally, or with a ticket. And that way the first dance will be over and done with, and people will see how good it is.
Don't worry about that. Nature will take its course, red and tooth and claw, and everybody will have a wee drink, and, things will just go along. I don't care how many people's there, maybe 100, 200, 300, 600, I think 600 is a maximum. Something like that. As many as they want can come along. But see, here's one of the things that I think maybe a lot of people don't realise. We don't even mind people coming whose motives are less than pure. Because if someone comes and his motives are less than pure, maybe perhaps he will experience a turnaround.
See?
Bring the sinners onto me, I say.
Oh, well, that's a good idea.
Bring the sinners onto me.
You're the man who could cope with that right enough.
Exactly. Let him who has cast the first stone
Will you be leading
cast the first stone.
Will you be leading the first dance?
I will not be dancing, no.
No, you won't?
I won't be dancing, no.
Will you be singing?
No. I'll be there in consultative capacity.
On official capacity?
No, I won't be there dancing because the women will be jealous. No, I can't. Nor am I a dancer, I have to add. I've never been a dancer. I'm always the fellow who stands looking at the band. I don't dance, and I will not dance, and please do not ask me. I won't dance. Don't ask me. I won't. Don't ask me. Oh, what a cue for a song. No, I will actually be there standing at the bar and attempting to stand straight and attempting to keep on my feet. I'll be there purely as a consultant, sorry. And if any women feel a little lost, come to me, and I will throw a friendly wing round them and comfort them.
Oh, I see.
Before I push them off into the world.
That can lead to stranger things,
Are you like a man who might go yourself?
Anything's possible.
Are you attached at all? Do you have a significant other?
Well, I would probably leave that astray, to be quite honest.
Okay, right. Okay, so you may want... See, there again, I'm condemning no one. You can come if you want. If your conscience lets you come, you come.
I see.
All right, then. So, do you live in Belfast, do you?
I do, Jerry, aye.
It will be in Belfast, of course.
Of course.
We can't have it anywhere else because it's unfair. We have to have it in the centre of population.
A neutral venue.
Where all the talent is. All right, then.
Okay, Jerry.
Okay, God bless you, my son.
You too. Good luck.
Bye. You see?
Right, you lived in America and Canada.
Yeah. And other places.
Slatware.
Pardon?
Slatware. S-L-A-T. Slatware.
I don't really know what you're talking about. Slatware. Mm-hmm. Could you put that in a sentence?
I go to a shop and I'm looking to buy some slatware.
Ah, that makes more sense. I've no idea what that means now. Slatware, I've no idea what that means. Mm-hmm. Have you? Do you know what slatware is?
Well, according to the man that phoned.
What does he say?
No, I'm not telling you.
Oh, he told you what slatware is? Well, why does he think I should know what slatware is?
He just said to me, he had the same experience with the word fortnight.
Fortnight?
Because they went into the shop.
Fortnight?
Yeah, to buy some of...
Fortnight.
Slapware. And the people said, "Oh, you're from Ireland. How long are you here for?" And they said, "We're here for a fortnight." So They were talking. She says, "I don't know what you're looking for." And he didn't. They didn't know how long he was there for.
Slatware.
Mm-hmm.
Slatware.
So if you want to buy slatware, what would you be buying?
Slatware. That's an obvious one, isn't it?
No.
Is it not?
Well, I never heard of it before.
Slatware.
No, you never would get it.
Slatware. Give us some slatware. I'll be here a fortnight.
Mm-hmm.
Slatware, fortnight, slatware. I have no idea.
You use slatware every day of the week.
Slatware.
You use it every day of the week.
I have to tell you, I'm stumped.
You've already used it today.
Have I?
Yes. And you will use it after 12. And you will use it at around 6 o'clock. And you will probably use it later on.
Slatware, cutlery.
Yes, very well worked out.
Cutlery.
Yes.
How did
you arrive
I
at
just
that?
guessed because the only thing I'd do at that time I'd have a meal.
Yes,
and I can't think of
give it away, didn't it?
I can't 6 o'clock give it away because you know that's when I eat. So slatware, I've never thought of that. So hardware, slatware, cutlery, that's the way my mind works. I should be on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. You don't get that. So what?
So it's the man asked, did you know what it was?
I tell him no.
Okay.
All right.
Where do you go now? And what do you say when the lights are gone out and your memory's fading? You're too high to notice how far you can fall. Through the loop, underneath, at the end of the road, round the bend, up ahead, watch your step as you go, 'cause I know where you are, it's a long way How can you tell the good from the bad? Cry when you're happy, laugh when you're sad. It's too late to show you how far you can fall. Through the loop, underneath, at the end of the road, round the bend, up ahead, watch your step as you go, 'cause I know where you are, it's a long way your step as you go, 'cause I know where you are, it's a long way. Through the loop, underneath, at the end of the road, round the bend, up ahead, watch your step as you go, 'cause I know where you are, it's a long way. It's a long way. It's a long
That's a great record. That's the Irish singer Don Kenny. That's a song called Long Way Down. Here's an email from what seems to be a Billy Goat Gruff. Dear Jerry, that Lignite record should surely be included in your 10 worst records along with Jess Conrad and his Pullover. Or, as the man says here, his Gansey. It's dreadful, so amateurish with no musical value whatsoever. Please subjecting us to it. Well, I'll tell you what. You have no ear. That's a great song. Obviously, you're denying your heritage, But never mind that. Here's a public service announcement. Please mention the following in your programme. On Friday the 23rd of January at 9 p.m. in the Old Courthouse, Main Street, Market Hull, County Armagh in concert as part of the Edward Bunting concert series. Soloist Brendan McGlinchey, County Armagh fiddler now living in London. A duo, Patricia Daly, County Armagh harper, stroke vocalist, and Pat McManus, County Fermanagh guitarist and fiddler. I know who he is. He's great. Admission is £5, concession £3 for the elderly and infirm. Pay at the door. This includes light refreshments and bar facilities available at the night. So go along to that, the Old Courthouse, Main Street, Market Hill, County Armagh. That's Friday week, isn't it? Friday the 23rd, whenever that is. Pardon?
Sorry for interrupting you. This is something I've been meaning to ask you.
Go ahead, feel free, yeah.
Right, you're a motorist.
A motorist?
Yes.
I've never been called that before.
Yes, well, you are. And so
okay,
am I.
I suppose I am a
and
motorist.
I am, too.
Nobody's ever called me a motorist before.
Right.
It sounds quite good.
Driving along and you see the sign saying cameras.
Yes.
Speed cameras or else cameras. I don't know if it says speed cameras or but you know the sign I'm on about, and they've got the little camera on the sign.
I put the boot down.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Where are the cameras?
There are none.
Well, what does that mean?
It means that there might be. I've never seen it.
I've always been looking. I've been checking out telegraph poles, and
that's how you have accidents.
Yeah, but
there are people when they see the sign camera.
I look for the camera.
No, but you see in England when it says cameras, there are cameras.
So we
see them.
So what? We just.
I got into a taxi with them. Do you know it's no good getting a taxi in England? I got into a taxi one time. I was in East Midland Airport, and I was stranded there. And I discovered that if I got a taxi to where was it? Leicester. Or something like that. If I get a taxi to Leicester, I would get a train that would leave me in London where I had a hotel room waiting for me. Right? So I get into this taxi, and the train was leaving Leicester at 9:30. Right? And I get into the taxi.
Now, where are you?
East Midlands Airport. Near Leicester. But, quite a bit away. 20, maybe, 15 miles away.
Right, okay, sure.
Or Loughborough, somewhere like that. You know those places all sound the same. They all start with an L. I get into the taxi, and I said, listen, I've got a train to catch at 9:30. Can you make it? He said, I don't know. I said, of course you'll make it. He said,
what
no.
What time's this at?
9 o'clock.
You're getting that, right? 20 miles away?
Well, whatever. And I said, can you make it? He says, it's dodgy. I said, well, just put the boot down. He said, I can't. I said, why? He said, there are cameras along the way.
Yeah.
I said, well, so what? He said, I can't go over 30. I said, what? You can't go over 30? I'm in a hurry. He said, no, I can't. And he didn't. And he crawled along. I felt like thumping him.
Did you get there in time?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe, who knows? I could be wrong, and I could be upsetting people, but I've never seen any cameras either. But they must be there somewhere.
They must be there, but I want to know where
I think they're in policemen's boots.
Are they in the hedges?
They don't know where they are. I think they're on top of badgers' heads.
I don't know where they are.
I have no idea.
There's a man on one.
I'm sure there is.
No, there's not. There's a girl on one.
Oh, great. Hello, Jerry. Just writing to waste my time, as you never read out my emails. I'm 35 years old, and listening to an old codger like you, sometimes I wonder if I might be slightly touched in the head. And you wonder why I don't read your emails? So could you please give my wife Zara a wee hello, as she makes the finest chips in Carrickfergus? And Jerry, sure you're always painting the town red. Signed, the forgotten emailer called Ricky. Ricky, I read your emails.
There's a man trying to text you all morning, and his texts keep getting returned to him. He says, what's wrong with your text?
Well, why can't you get them out?
I don't know where they are. Why aren't you reading them out? Why don't you bring them up on your screen?
You've been trained up. I haven't. I watched Ken training you, and Janet. Where's this training gone? Up your nose?
Yeah, but you know how to flick it on there.
I don't know how to. I haven't been trained
I can't go into your password.
Oh, no, you can't do that. I'm not giving you my password. I have things in there I don't want you to see. Like how much I earn.
Right. Bring it up on your screen now.
I'm not bringing anything up.
Please.
White bike, says Keith Harvey. Why didn't you get Ken to train you this afternoon? Don't be bothering me with this stuff. Bring them up tomorrow.
Claire's on one.
I know. Remember the song Queen, My White Bicycle, says Keith.
Bring them up tomorrow.
There were courtesy bikes left at your destination for someone else to ride whenever they needed to go. Then they would leave it for the next person. The bikes were painted white. I'm not sure where this took place. It may have been Holland. It wouldn't be London. No way. In London, steal them and sell them. I imagine that would be Holland. Courtesy bikes left around for people. If you're going somewhere, they say, oh, I'll take that bike. And then you left it somewhere and then somebody else took it. If they did it here, they'd melt them down for scrap. Anyway, that's what that woman meant about making it a white bike night. So there we are. Thank you. It's good to know that people out there are paying attention. And, right. Hello, there's a lady on the line. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Jerry. It's Claire. How are you?
Hello, Claire. I'm fine, thanks. How are you yourself? Okay?
Oh, just positioning myself. Jerry, you know why you didn't know flatware?
No, I've never heard that before.
Because it's flatware.
Flatware?
Yes.
Oh, F-L-A-T.
Yes.
Flatware. Well, even that means nothing to me, really.
I know, but just in case all your listeners phone in and, you get the word right.
Cutlery. That's a word you don't hear often, is there?
No, it's
cutlery.
not.
And when I said that, I thought twice about saying
kind of a posh
cutlery.
word.
Isn't it? I thought twice about saying cutlery in case people wouldn't know what I meant. Cutlery. It's like a word like haberdashers. You don't hear people saying haberdasher anymore.
No, not young people anyway.
Gentlemen's outfitters.
That's right.
These are all the words that are disappearing.
Jerry, the Hash Harriers are sort of a young idea for the Harriers that used to run. The Hash Harriers.
What's the Hash?
The Hash Harriers is the running club with a drinking problem.
I thought it was something else. Dope. Hash Harriers?
Yes, it's worldwide.
Is that a fact?
It is indeed.
Oh, it's in hash whiskey.
Well, we don't.
Sarmash whiskey. No, what's the word hash? What's that got to do with it?
Jerry, I don't actually know. Maybe some of your listeners do.
Hash. Well, hash is another word for dope, really. But I think in a previous life, hash. Am I talking about mash or hash?
No, it's Hash Harriers.
It's Hash Harriers.
Yeah. Tell me, Jerry, now, back to the singles night. Will Sean be dancing?
I'll just ask him. He's on the phone to a client at the moment.
I know he does all the hard work around there.
Well, I know No, he doesn't. He doesn't, actually. Well, he is a bit of a dancer, even though his legs are deformed. He's a little bit of a jiver, I think he is. But
he can just stand there and shake.
No, I used to do that. Now, there's no future in it. No, I'm not dancing. I don't dance. But I think he's a dancer. I'll ask him when he comes off the phone.
You can just hold up the bar, Jerry.
I'm good at that.
Yes, Jerry, I have quite a few of my friends coming along to the singles night.
Really? No, seriously, I invite everyone to come because I think it might be a good night. If it's successful, we do it.
It'll be a great night.
If it's successful, we do it again. We need the right numbers. We need a lot of people to come. It'd be terrible if there's only about 50 of us. Because we'll have to divide them all up and put them in hotels.
We'll get along, Jerry. Well, I've even got people listening to your show that never listened to it before.
Well, that's always a good thing. And many of your friends, do you think, will come?
Oh, well, Jerry, I spoke to you last week now. Claire with the red hair. I've got about 6 friends coming along.
Well, that'll get us going for a start.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of other people there as well.
Mm-hmm. One of the things that we have to legislate for is that many of the men there will not be great dancers.
Well, Jerry, we don't expect them to be.
That's okay, as long as you don't expect any pyrotechnics on the floor.
No.
Because one of the reasons
they don't bring their bicycles.
See, well, they may bring friends. No, but one of the reasons why sometimes men have difficulty with women is communicating is because they don't dance, because there's nothing worse. I used to hate people who danced well. Whenever you used to go to dance halls, when you're quite young, the flashy dancers, I never liked them.
Right.
Because they were showing off, weren't they? They weren't they?
Yeah, well, it's better than somebody standing on your feet.
No, they used to look at you as if you were like a worm, because you couldn't throw women over the top of your head. And I was never good at that. I was always very shy and, well...
Backwards.
That was the word I was looking for. I didn't want to say it. The word backward came to me, but I didn't... It's got curious connotations.
Yeah, no,
I was shy. Let me just ask him...
The man who runs the show's still on the phone.
Hello, Jerry Show?
He's on the phone again to somebody else.
Okay,
I'll ask him if he...
I'll let you go for this morning.
All right, then I'll ask him later if he's dancing.
Okay.
Will you be dancing
Of
yourself?
course.
Will you? What are you good at? What kind of dances are you good at?
I'm good at all those good body movement dances.
Oh, we look forward to seeing you then.
Okay, go well, Jerry.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
There's little people in little boxes asking me my name. What the hell I'm doing here, just why on earth I came. What's my age and what's my date? What's the time, why am I late? It seems there's only one thing left to do. I'm gonna live like the Indians do. I'll sail the rivers in my canoe, and I'll roam the plains and I'll attack the trains. I'm gonna live like the Indians. When Friday night comes around, I think I'll paint my face. I'll stick a feller up my arse and burn the whole damn place. I'll do a war dance in the street and scalp the people that I meet until somebody calls the cavalry. I'm gonna live like the Indians do. I'll sail the rivers in my canoe, and I'll roam the plains, and I'll attack the trains. I'm gonna live like the Indians. My parents think I'm crazy and my friends, they laugh at me. They say they're gonna lock me up and throw away the key. But my girl says she loves me and she'll always stay with me. Well, I wonder how she's gonna like it living up a tree. I'm gonna live like the Indians do. I'll sail the rivers in my canoe, and I'll roam the plains, and I'll attack the trains. I'm gonna live like the Indians do. Yes, I'll roam the plains, and I'll attack the trains. I'm gonna live like the Indians do.
That's P. Slaggart, singer from Omaha. Very good, very underestimated, excellent singer. And that's a song called Live Like the Indians Do. That's from his album, which I've lost now. I can't find. Oh, there it is. The album is called Tales from a Whiskey Town. Right, hello to Lucia Townsend from Cookstown. It's her birthday today. Happy birthday to her. From her twin sister. Well, it's her twin sister's birthday too. Why not? Yeah. Question to listeners. Does anyone have a fold-up wheelchair that they'd like to sell or give away? Herbie Barton is looking for one for somebody else and can't get one anywhere. So there we are. Anyone who's got that, give us a ring here at 08459 555 678. But we want to do it quickly because the crazies come on. There's crazies now at either end of us. Have you noticed that? There's crazies now at either end of us. There's crazies before at 10:30. There's crazies after.
Did you ever hear this term?
What?
You're a much-travelled man.
I'm a much-travelled man.
Did you ever hear of a taxi dancer?
No. Did you ever hear of bingo wings?
No.
Do you know what bingo wings are? You know women who play bingo, you know the big fat arms?
Aye.
That's what bingo wings are.
Well, a taxi dancer.
Is that the same thing?
No.
What's a taxi dancer?
Taxi dancer, apparently it was quite common in America and may have crept into parts of England.
That's not a fact.
Right? Men who would go to a dance and they would be employed, or they would be there, and they would wear a little badge on their lapel saying taxi, as in taxi.
10 cents a dance, that's what they pay me. Boy, how they weigh me down.
And the girl would come on, a girl on her own or ever wanted to dance, you would go over to one of the taxi men and say, can I have this dance? And he was obligated to dance with her.
That's nearly a gigolo.
But that's all, just there for the dance.
10 cents a dance.
You've been no good at that.
What they pay me, Lord, how they weigh me down. Remember that song?
Yeah.
Pansies and rough guys, tough guys who tear my gown. 7 to midnight, I hear drums loudly the saxophone play. 10 cents a dance, buddy, take me away.
Are you charging for a dance?
Hello. Where's that? Is there somebody there? I'm sorry. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, hello, who's that, by the way?
Hello, Jerry.
Yes, sorry, who's that?
Jerry, this is Norman Bissett.
Yes, Norman.
I listened to the record that you played earlier by Jess Conrad.
Oh, isn't it great?
Absolutely incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to give you some absolutely useless information about it.
Go ahead.
Jess Conrad received royalties amounting to £8,400 for that record.
You're not serious.
And he bought a house in London.
Mm-hmm.
And the house is currently valued at just over £1 million.
He bought the house with the proceeds from that record?
He bought it from the proceeds. The only thing I wanted to ask you was, did you ever hear a record by a guy called Hines?
Oh, yes, I did.
And he sung a song called Just Like Eddie.
Just Like Eddie, yes. That's...
It will beat any of the records that you have on that CD.
Yeah, because he couldn't sing at all.
Absolutely atrocious. The other thing that I have heard is that when you were in the band, you sung this Pullover, the Jess Conrad song. Is there any truth in that?
I did once, yes.
Once?
No, I didn't. No, there's no truth in that. No, how dare you? No, I never sang that, no.
What is your own personal opinion, Jay? The worst record you've ever heard?
The worst record I've ever heard, I think, is... let me see now. What's the one? I think... no, see, there's a difference between the worst one you ever heard and the one that annoys you most. I think the one that annoys me most is Power of Love.
Right.
I think that's the one that annoys me most. I can't bear to hear that. I think it's probably because I've heard so many people singing it in pubs. If anybody starts to sing it in pub, I go to the toilet and sit down and lock the door.
What about Mrs. Miller's album?
Oh, I like Mrs. Miller. I like Mrs. Miller. I like people who are deliberately bad. I think possibly the one I played earlier on is hard to beat. It's called The Deal by Patrick Campbell.
Patrick, I've heard it.
The only record ever made by a man who died.
Well, you know what I'd like you to do? If you would ask the listeners to phone in and have a vote, a phone vote. Mm-hmm. Who's the worst between Hines and Patrick?
Or maybe they have ideas of their own.
Honestly, well, they might have.
They could well do.
But if there's worse than Just Like Eddie, I haven't heard it yet.
All right, don't you worry. I'm sure we'll be able to produce something worse than that. Okay, my son. God bless you.
Thank you.
See you later.
Cheerio, Jack.
Bye. Bye. Here's our Nashville Super Pickers again. I've lots of other emails here, but I can't get round the corner of the desk to get at them because we have to go soon shortly, because we're going a little early today, as we do every day. We go about 2.5 minutes before 12 o'clock to make way for a new series, very good series, called This Place. Don't forget, if you want to write to me, you can write to me, Jerry Anderson, care of BBC Radio Foyle. That's 8 Northland Road. That's ROAD. Derry, Stoke, Londonderry. No need for a postcode. I don't trust people who know it. Or you can send us an email 24/7, as Hugo says. It's jerry.anderson@bbc.co.uk. If Mr. Coyle has ever trained up and taught how to get the text messages out, I'll give it again to you tomorrow. But I'm not going to give it to you tomorrow because there are people sending us text messages, and I don't say them because I don't know how to get them out. Right, this place coming up shortly, then the 12 o'clock news. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 10:30 at the same time. Goodbye.
92 to 95 FM. BBC Radio Ulster.
It's time now for our new daily series for 2004, This Place. For 17-year-old Blaine Neal, it's Ballymoney, County Antrim.
Westgate, it's located about 5 minutes walk from the town, but 2 minutes for the country. You just walk down the far end of Westgate and you're as deep into the country as you're ever going to get. You hear barley fields, you hear what they call a cornfield. Down at the end of the barley field there was a shuck, you know, and you went across the shuck. You had to make a big jump across it into this other field. That was a bit mucky, for there used to be horses kept down there. Over at the far end of that field there was a river high, and the summer months we used to go there and swim in it. It was brilliant. Me and all my friends, we used to just jump in, clays and all on us. It was brilliant. Then at the far end of the barley field there was a conker field. Chestnut trees, as many as you could count. You couldn't even count how many there was. We used to go up there in the month of October. One evening, you know, we went up into the conker field, and it was a massive conker. It was a real beauty, you know. Pure brown, as brown as you can imagine. Anyway, I brought her down on home to my granny and granddad's, and the next thing, I brought out the big gully, you know, to get the hole into the conker, and the next thing, it was a hard, you know. I couldn't even get the knife into it. And the next thing, I was pushing and pushing away, and the next thing, the conker, it just cracked every way on me, and the knife, look, can you even see the scar in my thumb there? That's what happened to it. Oh, jeez. It was sore and I could see everything right down into the bone of my thumb. And, the adrenaline, the sweat just broke out on me. Things have changed since then. That's about 6 or 7 years ago. Now, the conker field, most of it's been cut away for housing estates, and the barley field is apparently been sold. I think something bad's really happening. It's just been destroyed, to be honest with you. That part of the country, it's just my whole life, so it is, and they're just destroying it.